Welcome to the Generation X-Wing podcast, a modern look at a retro lifestyle. My name's Rob Williams, and I'm here with
Jamie Pillwriter,
as well as
Steve 3.
Welcome, everybody. If you're first time on this show, if first time listening to this show, we over the last 382 episodes, we've talked about Star Wars, we've talked about movies, we've talked about pop culture, the 80s and 90s, and today we decided to take a look back at some of the movies we've reviewed since we started movie night, which was way back. Tombstone, I think was, I can't remember the episode, but was our very first movie, and we kind of take turns picking a movie, and we kind of give it a rating system out of 10, and we decided we're going to look back and re-look at some of our evaluations, kind of figure out what do we think is a good movie. Why do we give it this number out of 10? And what's our rating system? How's it work? What's our Rotten Tomatoes system that goes on here? And we also want to take a look at some movies. Can't take a look at all the movies because we've looked at. I was doing the numbers, folks. Before we did movie night, we did 40 different movies, from the first being Back to the Future all the way up to. I think the last one we did before we did ratings was the Simpsons movie. And there's so many others in between there. And we want to kind of look at some of those. We can't go through all 40 of those ones, but we've done a whole bunch. I'm looking at another 30 movies plus, 35 movies we've done for movie night. And
Rob, what was the first movie we rated?
Now, we did do ratings before we did movie night. I've got like Love Guru is one of the first movies. Ironically enough.
And from there, it went all downhill.
Yeah. Ironically enough, that's one of the first movies we rated before we did the movie night. Love Guru, for those at home, was a movie brought up by our co-host, who's currently not here. But by the way, folks, he gave me confirmation he's going to make it in 2 weeks for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, our next movie night movie. Yes, he says he will be there. He's going to, because I knew he wanted to talk about the movie. But he loves Love Guru so much. So out of a scale of 10, he gave it an 11.
Yeah, I think someone's been drinking. Folks. He's been drinking.
Yeah, and that's a movie that, Jamie, you haven't seen yet. No. And if we get to 500 subscribers on YouTube, by the way, if you're watching this, help us get to 500. We get them to watch Love Guru. But I gave it a 2, and Steve gave it a 5. And when we had that discussion of why Steve, he's shaking your head right now, Steve. But we had the discussion.
5 and 11.
And that is like. It brought up the question. I think me and Jamie, we're in the car on one of our trips to, I think, Victoria, and we were talking about reevaluating the movies. Would we change anything?
Yeah.
So let me guys give you a rundown of, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think is the highest rated movie we get on average from when we started movie night? What do you think is the highest rated average?
Which movie's got the highest score?
Yeah. What do you think, Jamie?
On average? That's
on
tough,
average,
man.
Yeah.
Trying to think of, God, it's all a blur at this point.
Shall I run down some of the movies we've done?
Maybe, yeah, if you don't mind. I'm sorry, Rob. I feel under.
So here's the list of movies that Jamie's picked since we started: Tombstone, Desperado, The Mask of Zorro, Ace Ventura, Sorry, Married an Axe Murderer.
Sorry, we didn't rate Tombstone, correct?
That's the one we haven't. That's the very first movie we didn't rate.
So I would say, like, among my movies, I feel like Mask of Zorro had to be one of those ones that was among the higher of the rated ones.
Okay. I believe you're correct. No, yes, you're correct on that. Yes, it was a rating of 8 on average. Christine and Nate joined us for that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty much 8 across the board for that. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I could see that.
We also, for other movies you did, was Ace Ventura, Sorry, Married an Axe Murderer, Uncle Buck, Willow, Super Troopers, Airheads, Batman 89. And our next one is
what was Batman 89? I know we just did it, but what was
7.67? Steve brought the average down, but
wow.
And he's not in the way he's nodding his head. He's not ashamed by that.
No, nor should you be. It's your rating.
Steve's movies that he's brought up: Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Galaxy Quest, They Live, Fifth Element, Great Outdoors, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Nightmare on Elm Street, Beverly Hills Cop, Point Break, and just recently Hook, which we did last week.
Oh, you've had some good ones, Steve.
Yeah, it's been a good life.
Of that.
That's what's modeled me to the way I am.
Yeah.
It's quite a, when you think of these movies, it's quite a synopsis of who we are as a person.
Yeah.
And we'll get into my picks in a second.
Yeah, what's yours, Rob?
So hang on. What do you think is the highest rated movie on your choices?
Probably Point Break was high, I think.
I was going to say Point Break for you.
No. I brought the average down on that.
Oh, okay.
You two gave it a 9. I gave it a 7.5.
What the?
And I'm not shy about that one. I'm almost going lower after rethinking of it.
Yeah, I would have gone with that because we all enjoyed it.
Well, there you go, assuming things again.
What about Fifth Element? Fifth
Element was the highest. It was a 9.
Yeah.
That one's a great one.
Yeah, you gave Jamie 9.5 for Steve, and 8.5 for me.
Yeah.
And again, I'm almost questioning. I might have wanted to go higher, but there we go.
What is our highest? 10?
Hang on, I have to go. To
no, but what is our scale? Is it 1 to 10?
1 to 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
0 to 10.
0. I would say 0 to 10.
Yeah,
we've never given a 0.
I would give a movie a 0 if it weren't.
And I still would not give Love Guru a 0. I've seen
No?
worse. I've seen worse.
Dune was pretty bad.
That's a movie that's on the list we haven't rated. I know Steve loves that one though. Okay, my movies. Stand back, folks. Waterworld was my first choice. Time Bandits, Sneakers, RoboCop, Snatch, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Clue, Encino Man, Wayne's World, and Mr. Mom. What do you think is the highest movie rated?
Snatch.
Oh, Snatch. Yeah.
You say Snatch? Snatch is by far the highest of all of them. 9.6. It's the closest we've gotten out of 10.
Yeah.
So that's the highest rated one overall?
Snatch. You and me, Jamie, gave it a 10.
It's such a great movie.
Steve gave it a 9.
I can't give anything a 10.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about that later. Let's ask that question now. Why can't you give a movie a 10? Why have a 10 at all then?
Yeah,
because for me it has to tick all the boxes, and I don't own Snatch on DVD.
Ooh.
So what is a 10 movie to you? Give us
this is something I wanted to bring up with the conversation tonight. I find it hard to stick a single digit number on a movie. What I would like to do is say have 2 or 3 categories which we score, and then that's our score. So for me, I'd like to do, and I think it would be interesting because there'd be different columns to fill. We could do nostalgia. What does it score for nostalgia for you? Because that could be really high and the movie's just a crock of shit, but for you it's great, right? So we have nostalgia, then we'll have overall entertainment, because again, it could be really entertaining, but it wasn't. And then we'll have something like durability, which would be, does it stand the test of time? So I'm not saying they have to be those 3, but something like that would help us give an overall number to a movie, I think. And I know it's more numbers for the math teacher, but
yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing Rob's a math teacher.
The fact I have a spreadsheet of these movies, and I have a spreadsheet of how many GXW versus trivia contests we won, and all. I love numbers.
Yeah.
So back to are there any movies, Steve, that you would, off the top of your head, give a 10?
Yeah, there probably is. I don't know if we've reviewed them or not though, but for me,
since there's no 10s, I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, there are some which I can definitely. These are the ones that I have. For me, the Star Wars movies. I don't know if we've reviewed those, but they should be getting 10s because I've got every available version of them. I would watch them at any given time. I'll always enjoy them. So to me, it's like Empire Strikes Back. To me, there's things about it which people don't like, but for me, that's a 10, right?
Yeah.
So we don't need to review it now, so give them a score. But that would be a 10, and I could definitely say that for a load of other movies. And I'm surprised I didn't give a 10 to The Fifth Element, to be honest with you, because Fifth Element, I own several copies of it. I've dedicated a lot of time to it. I'll always watch it and I'll always enjoy it. So I'm surprised I didn't give it a 10. But I think we always hold off on a 10 because it's, but again, like you said, why would we do that? But I think we always do.
Movies, like I said last time, movies mean different things to different people. But yeah, to me, I always think about it from the video game perspective. Video game reviewers, they basically only use 4 digits out of a 10-digit scale. It's either a 6 or it's a 9. 6 is like the worst game imaginable, and you should not buy it, and you probably should just burn it. And a 9 is a perfect game to them.
Right.
Like, why do you even have a 0 to 10 scale then?
Right.
It's 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4. It's a 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star.
So to me, I think a movie warrants a couple of categories which you would put down there. You know, I think
I can
2 or 3.
absolutely think of a few movies off the top of my head that I would give a 10 easily.
But why haven't we reviewed them yet?
Because I think it's more fun to talk about movies that might be a little more controversial, or that we might have differing opinions on.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like picking A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. Like that's an easy choice. We're all going to love the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to be as interesting a discussion as talking about a movie like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, or something like that we're all going to have differing opinions on.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that. That's why a lot of my picks are kind of out there. Like I purposely picked Waterworld because
I don't believe this at all. I don't believe any of this coming from his mouth right now.
I picked it because I really love the movie, and I know people hate the movie, and I wanted to hear why people are so divided on something like
that's
this.
A fun discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And just hearing Nate's stories about getting tortured with this movie, it's
Did we ever rate Deadpool? Because to me that's another go-to for me.
Deadpool 2 is on my list of movies we've watched. We actually did a commentary on
watch
that
along. We did a watch along.
But we never rated it. We weren't rating movies a lot. There are movies we have done in the past. Hot Rod we rated before we were doing movie night.
Good movie.
You gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, another good movie.
I don't know why we didn't. That wasn't your choice, but it was your choice. But I hated that movie. I absolutely hated that movie. But you guys loved it. Beetlejuice. It was a Halloween time. That's what we were doing. But I guarantee those movies would have been on a choice anyways. And that was higher than Dusk Till Dawn. We did Gremlins for Christmas. That was low, 6.6. The lowest movie. I want to ask you guys this question. What do you think the lowest rated movie we've done for movie night? And there's another movie we've done that's lower that we did not do for movie night that we actually rated.
Oh God.
Whoa. It's the lowest one. Oh,
I know which one should be. I know which one should be the lowest.
Well, don't talk about that if you gave it a 5, sir.
I know, that's the thing.
God, I have a crap memory.
That's all right. I will give you a hint. It was rated. Okay, the one that we've done for movie night.
Who was in it?
That's a giveaway.
Oh, okay. It was lower than Love Guru. It was a rated of 5, and I can tell you that Steve picked it.
Oh, really?
Yes. When I say it, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I remember."
Close Encounters.
No.
Oh,
that was a good movie. We gave that.
I didn't know if you like. I can't remember if you like that or not.
Yeah, we all gave it pretty much 7.5, 8.
Rob, I'm sorry, but is it bad that as soon as you said it was a Steve movie, I'm like, Steve doesn't pick bad movies. That's a Rob thing.
Yeah.
Well,
bad.
I do have averages of the people of us too, and Steve's on the bottom of the average. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, Steve's harsher on movies.
Snatch brought me up a bit, so
yeah.
Snatch will do that.
Yeah. Yeah, great movie.
Okay, I'll just.
What is it?
The movie was the movie was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
it was. I gave it a 3. Steve gave it a 5.5, and Jamie 6.5.
And again, that movie based on nostalgia would score, but watching it again now did not stand up the test of time. Was it entertaining? Not as much as I thought it would be. But that's why I like these points of why they don't stand up.
Our lowest rated movie of all movies we've rated is Street Fighter, the movie.
Oh yeah,
you gave it a 3.
That tracks.
Steve wasn't there. Deo, our friend of the podcast,
I refuse to watch it. Yeah,
I think you're making a mistake.
I don't.
I gave it a 6, and I actually want to go higher. But Deo gave it a 4.
What did I give it?
You gave it a 3.
Okay, good. because I after my speech at the start, I now was very self-conscious that I've only rated things between a 6 and a 9.
Yeah.
Well, when you talked about the video game stuff, that's actually where our conversation was leading to, because you were concerned about the ratings you were giving, but you've been, I would say you've given 10s, you've given 9s, you've given 3s.
Okay.
But you're
as long as I'm using the scale.
I'm looking at 7s and 6s and a halves and 7s and 8s. That's about the average. And I wouldn't argue with that, because I think we've been picking movies that we've enjoyed for the most part.
It's fair.
So.
Yeah, we've not picked terrible movies. None of us have here in this right now have picked terrible movies. So,
well, I disagree.
That's true. Actually, Waterworld sucks.
Said the guy who gave it a 5, the same as Love Guru.
That says it all, because he can't go.
Would you like to amend your score for Waterworld, Steve?
No,
you gave
would.
Encino Man a 5.
Yeah.
What did I give Waterworld, Rob?
You gave it a 6.
Oh, I would
because you're my friend.
A 6? What the hell was I thinking?
Okay, so
but that's the thing. You see, I don't think, and I talked about this at the time. I was honest, and I didn't backtrack. But I don't think, like Encino Man, it was the montage of funny things. What can we do? But I still got a kick out of it. Whereas I was groaning so much that I need to at least go 1, if not 2 points down on the other one, right? So that's why it's hard for me. I can't rate it lower because it just wasn't.
So
that's why we need to amend.
What would you give a movie a 0?
What? Why would I give a movie a 0?
Would you give a movie a 0? Sorry, I started my speech, but would you give a movie a 0?
You know what? I will give a movie a 0 right now, based on watching it on a plane and thinking it would be good, and not even be able to get through the first 15 minutes, then skipping ahead and then finally just not even giving a shit about what happened at the end.
Yeah.
And that was a movie that's come out lately called, I don't know if anyone likes this one, but it's called Lady in the Water. And it's not Lady in the Water that was coming out a few years ago. This is a new release. It's got Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and I thought it was going to be something.
Isn't it the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
That's what I was thinking he was talking about, but it doesn't sound like that.
I don't know, mate. I don't even know. I didn't even go to find out who made this. I just turned it off, and I went and watched What We Do in the Shadows again, right?
That's the M. Night Shyamalan one.
Yeah.
That's the M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, it really did not do a damn thing for me.
Didn't it win a bunch of awards?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's rated 3 stars on IMDb.
Yeah, so I gave up on it, man. So I would give that a big fat 0 because I couldn't even make it to the end.
Fair.
What about you?
For me, I think I'm more likely to give a movie a 10 than I am a 0. But if you forced me to pick a movie that I have tried to watch and absolutely hated, the first one that comes to mind to me is the Max Payne movie.
Max Payne
with Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Honestly, I watched it just recently for the first time within the last couple months, mostly because I went back to play the old games, because I love the Max Payne series of video games. They're so awesome. The movie was such a steaming turd that had nothing to do with the games. It was just a random, horribly made just action movie. It was terrible. It's I don't know if it's a 0, but it's as close as I would come to giving a movie a 0 score out of 10.
But what would deserve a 0 if you can't get to the end of it? Like, surely it deserves a 0.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Because
you want your money back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, why did I do that?
Do you guys ever go to a movie asking for your money back, or come this close to asking for your... There is a time limit of when to do it.
I've walked out on one movie.
Which movie?
Her, with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I've always wanted to watch that, and I've never got around to doing it.
That is literally the only movie in my entire life that I have walked out of and had no desire to go back and finish.
Why'd you walk out of it?
It was awful. I just didn't enjoy it. It was super weird, artsy. It's again, I can't say it's a terrible movie because I'm sure people enjoyed it, but it just wasn't for me.
But if it's a terrible movie for you, then that surely deserves a 0. You can't take other people's account into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously don't give a crap what Waterworld about. So
yeah, I mostly bug you guys for movies just because it's like teasing a sibling, right? But like if someone genuinely enjoys a movie, like I always go back to the prequel movies or the sequel movies for Star Wars. Like I don't want to shit on those movies in front of someone who genuinely enjoys them. Because I don't want it to come across like, I'm trying to make you feel stupid because you like a movie that I don't. Like, if you like it, I can't tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, but they don't deserve 0s, right?
No, they don't. Like, they absolutely don't.
I just feel that you have to, unfortunately, get down in a 0 if you cannot complete a movie. If you hit fast forward and then hit fast forward again just to see if it excites you at all and it's still just as bad when you press, like, you have to.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Another movie like that for me is Sucker Punch.
See, that's a movie I can watch.
Yeah. Oh,
I can
really?
watch that. Yeah, I can watch that.
0 for me.
Yeah, I watched that. I've watched that a number of times, so it's interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
a lot of people not like that. Yeah.
I ended up, in order to get through the movie, I had to turn the sound off.
Interesting.
The
pretty.
visuals were the best part of it, and like that's a Zack Snyder kind of hallmark of his movies. Is visually they're great, but substance-wise, like writing, dialogue, they're not enjoyable to me.
Movies,
so I literally turned the sound off to finish the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the best movie in the world, but it's definitely one I could, if I started watching it, I would watch it till the end again, just to try and suss out a little bit more about it. I think the intrigue, right? So
yeah.
Movies I've rated a 0. There's a lot of horror movies that I just don't bother watching, and there's some movies so I can't rate a 0 if I haven't seen it. But there have been some movies where I just stopped. And I'm like, no, this is not why I watch movies. Movies I've seen in theaters, Mission to Mars. I remember almost walking out of that one. That's I'm trying to remember who
Sounds
was in
familiar.
that
Was it in the 90s, like late
2000s?
90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me pull it up here. Mission to Mars. Here we are. It's all coming back to me. Gary Sinise, Tim Robbins, Don Cheadle, Connie Nielsen. Remember Tim Robbins takes his mask off and freezes in space or whatever. It was stupid. I think it was an alien crying at one point. It looked like a 70s, pick up your trash commercial. But I remember being so angry when I left that movie. The Stupids is aptly named. Is the worst movie I have seen. And it made me angry when I walk into the Hard Rock Cafe in Vancouver and they have a Stupids suit and straw hat on display in the restaurant.
There's a Hard Rock Cafe in Vancouver?
It was filmed in Vancouver. Yeah, it was a Hard Rock. It lasted for a couple of years and it was overpriced crap. So sorry, not Hard Rock. It was Planet Hollywood. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
There was a Hard Rock Cafe as well, though. That was actually not so bad, but overpriced still. And Liam, I remember seeing this movie called Liam. It was an Irish movie that made me feel so depressed at the end. It was 2000, and I was so sad after watching that because it was just depressing as hell. And I remember saying, I was with my buddy Tino at the time. I'm like, I never ever want to see anything like this again.
But you watched it to the end.
That are depressing.
I had to because we paid for it.
No, that's not how it works, Rob.
I was at my buddy's house, or we choose movies, and I had to sit there and watch it, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. If I had a device, I would have been scrolling through it, but he was watching it, and I was being polite, and it was just like we were trying to be artsy, and it was just like, no, I at the time I couldn't not finish a movie, but now I have no problem. I got my time's precious now. So
see, this is the other thing as well. It's like,
AI too. AI fucking sucked.
That's not a sucky movie. It's a movie that can be watched.
You see, there's the thing that you brought up. You can't say it's not a sucky movie. If I feel that way, for me it is.
But I'm saying I don't feel it's a sucky movie, so it's definitely, that's why we have our different scores and ratings.
I like your system. Nostalgia definitely falls under all the movies we've reviewed because this is a retro podcast, right?
Like the last one we did with Hook, there's so much nostalgia behind it. I would score it highly on it, but when I actually watched it again, it didn't stand the test of time, but it was very entertaining. So, that could help but never give it a 10. But if you find something which has a massive nostalgia, is super entertaining, and stood the test of time, then it kind of deserves more of a 10.
I kind of think I do that already with the movies. I pick movie based on nostalgia. Am I entertained when I'm watching it? Then that's usually the big part of it. And durability, we do ask that question: does it hold up? Does this stand up test of time? So I love that rating system, but for me, it already goes into I'm already doing the numbers in my head. So.
Yeah, I definitely
Math
factor all
teacher.
those things into my score.
So okay, do you want to take a look at some of the movies we've done then? Already off the bat, do you guys have anything you want to change right away?
Waterworld.
Okay.
And are we going to? Sorry, Rob. It seems like I'm picking on you. That was the first one that springs to mind.
I'm okay with it.
I would also, mostly for selfish reasons, I would want to score Tombstone.
Okay, let's score Tombstone right now.
Okay.
You thought about it. You sat back. I actually listened to the end of that episode to double check we had rated it, and I remember listening to Steve talk about certain things and you talk about certain things. So, what would you give that movie out of 10 then? This was your first choice for movie night when we were focused on this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I feel a little bit bad because it feels egotistical, but I would give it a 10.
All right, 10 it is. There we go. It even did italics and bold on my screen for some reason. That's awesome. Steve, what about you?
It gets a grand 8.
Grand 8. And, I kind of like...
And a half.
Oh.
Okay, 8.
Yeah, because I would watch that movie anytime. Anytime.
So is that what an 8.5 is for you? Watch it again?
I don't own it.
So, okay. Okay, don't own it.
And as to this point, I've never cosplayed it.
that falls under the category as well.
But after going to Ren Fair the other weekend, I was thinking, you know what? I wonder if you could get away with doing Western stuff at Ren Fair. And if I did, I would do that big ass mustache, that long trench coat. Oh,
so I did see a little while back. I can't remember when it was, but for the anniversary of Tombstone, they actually had like a Tombstone meetup in Tombstone, Arizona.
That'd be hilarious.
Where they like built a town and encouraged people to come in costume.
Oh, that's awesome.
That I would do like a Wyatt Earp or like a Doc Holliday in a
just
heartbeat.
Anything with a grand mustache.
Yeah.
You're almost as pale as he is, so that's awesome. Pale Rider.
Yeah.
So I give it a 7.5. So it averages out to 8.67.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
See, sorry, I'm skewing you a bit, but I that's one of those movies that for me it is a perfect movie.
I remember how much you love that movie and how
it's so good.
It's so important. I mean, you talked about the idea of the Pale Rider coming out of that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So there we go. So 8.67. That's one of your higher rated movies. Just looking at it right now. In fact, I'm looking. It might be your highest rated.
But it is one of his favorite movies, so that makes sense.
It is. Yeah. It is your highest rated movie. Yes. Look at that. I love numbers. All right. So you want to change Waterworld? You gave it a 6. I'm assuming we're going lower. Go ahead. I didn't make the movie. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob. And this is mostly me being self-conscious about using more of the scale.
Go for it.
I feel like I need to give it a 3.
You went half. You cut it in half.
No, I was thinking 4, but honestly, like just thinking about a 4 in my head, I felt like that was too high.
Are you sure you want to do these scores now, or do you want to wait until you finally watch Love Guru? Because you're gonna feel bad for Rob if you say
this will prep him for when we see Love Guru. He's got to.
Again, this is not me picking on movies, like particular movies. This is me wanting to use more of the scale.
And the thing is,
we have more data, basically. Like we have more movies.
And you can't not rate it just because you like the person who picked it. Otherwise, you'll end up in the same boat I did.
No, I'm trying to be as honest as possible.
Yeah, we have to be. Yeah,
you want to change yours? You gave it a 5.
I have to because there's so many other movies that deserve that score, but I've made it through, without complaining as much. So yeah. My score is Waterworld.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 3.5.
You liked it a little bit more than Jamie.
Yeah, and I did. I watched it all the way through to the end, and I was, because I haven't watched it all the way through
Oh,
ever.
look at all the cosplay you can do with this.
What?
But
I
why?
could,
Oh my
I could do the
God.
same. I could do that and get away with being one of the Lost Boys on Hook. Like, there's nothing synonymous with. There's nothing synonymous with Waterworld.
Yeah.
It's like, but the only good thing about actually watching it all the way through when we had to was I got to learn that bit at the end, which I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense.
A little bit at the end, like,
Mount Everest plaque.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So, there are little things that stand out, but yeah, would I ever want to watch it again just for shits and giggles? Hell no.
No. Rob, what was the movie that I suggested that was rated the lowest? Was it Ace Ventura?
I'm looking through it now.
Something else? I'm
You
curious.
I don't
are
think it. I think everyone enjoyed Ace Ventura, didn't they?
7.6.
Oh,
Ace
wow.
Ventura is the lowest. No,
Is it?
Yes, no, Airheads. Airheads is the
Airheads.
lowest, 6.1.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
Ace
Still
is
quite a good
second.
score, though. Yeah.
And yes, and Super Troopers was close to that too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Deo brought the average down that one, but I blame Deo. Okay, I actually went up, and not out of spite. I actually honestly went up because I like it so much that the nostalgia kicked in on it. So I gave it 8.5. I wasn't gonna go nuts and say it's a 9 or I know it's not a 9 or 10, but it's but I rate based on heart. You guys were
Yep.
rating mine's purely on my sleeve. And am I entertained? It's the
Yeah.
reason I watch a movie. I have very little time to watch movies, so you better make good.
Well, the same thing could be said like with the last one I picked. If you would ask me to rate it before I watched it, the number would have been different to watching it again.
Yeah.
Because I think it's good that we all watch these things again and be honest and truthful. with
Mhm.
it.
And
So
that's
it
why,
averages-
that's why
it-
I rated Waterworld Hook the way I did.
Yeah,
I feel like it's for the same
it
reason.
still stood up for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that averages out to 5. There you go. Worse than Love Guru. So
Yeah, which is
That's got to change too. But we
yeah.
can't.
Well,
Jamie-
Steve, since you're here,
I
Well, the
can't
thing
in
is
good
here-
conscience rate it.
No, and that's the thing. I don't think we can. I think we need to revisit this when Jamie rewatches.
so you're gonna
And-
stick with your 5 then.
Well, we're gonna have to, but that thing's coming. I mean, if just me and you change it right now, how is,
I'm not changing. I give it a 2. I'm sticking with 2.
Well, I'd
I'm
like to bring it.
comfortable with 2.
I'm comfortable with. You know what? I made it all the way through. I think I cringe smiled a couple of times. I think. What did I just give Waterworld?
3.5.
3.5.
So yeah, I'm. I just don't think I would ever watch Love Guru again. So I think, you know what, I'm gonna have to. And everything we just talked about from the zeros through, I think I'm gonna have to give it. I just didn't enjoy it. I think I'm gonna have to give it a 1.5
1.5.
because it's nothing. To
I
do
can
with-
honestly say that I enjoyed it more than you did.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Just based on the conversation.
Yeah.
But I found it uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, and I like the Mike Myers stuff from past, right? So
So, with the Neil's 11 rating, and he's listened to us, he's probably going to bump it up to 15, just out of spite. 1.5 plus 2 plus 11 equals divided by 4.83.
And the thing is,
it's
the
worse
thing is,
than
though,
worse
if
than
we're-
Waterworld. So I'm all
but how if we're adjusting all our point systems and we're now becoming a little bit more, structured and honest about how we rate stuff, then 11 shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I'm just.
I would agree.
Yeah, I'm just putting it in there because Neil's not here to defend himself, and I just want to be fair. So, okay. So, anything else that stands out before we can go through the list? Or you want you can give a minute for each one, or something like that.
Even if you throw out the maybe ones that you might think are controversial that might
Sure.
warrant a second look, Rob, I'll leave
Well,
that up to you.
Have you seen Time Bandits? Because you weren't here
I
when
have
we
not.
talked about. Okay, so we can't do that one.
I love that movie.
One thing that I was surprised was so high was Galaxy Quest. It was a 9 for Jamie, 9 for Steve,
Oh,
and an
yeah.
8 for me. Still
It's
good
a great
for that
movie.
one.
Still
Yes.
good.
Cool.
I stand by that rating for
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Me too.
RoboCop then. How about that? 8.5 for Jamie, 8 for Steve, and 7.5 for me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident on that one, but I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
yeah.
Okay, should I even touch Snatch then?
No.
The highest rating one.
I would capture
Oh my
that.
gosh! I just realized what he said.
I would capture that soundbite and keep it for an occasion.
Yeah.
We can do a compilation at the end of the year of Rob's. Oh, I'm so excited!
Ooh,
I touch Snatch.
So
I love Snatch.
are you comfortable with the 10 on the Snatch?
Yes.
Jamie and Steve.
Yeah, I think I scored it. What 9?
9.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I just want to double check. Men in Tights, and then we'll talk Prince of Thieves. It'll be the Battle of the Robin Hoods. Now, Steve, you weren't here when we did Prince of Thieves.
No,
Have you seen it?
I have, but I would have to watch it again.
Okay, that's fair.
Honestly, I would have to watch it again. I know it. There are definitely going to be some bits about it I liked and enjoyed, but
Yeah.
I couldn't rate it honestly without watching it again.
What did I give that one, Rob?
Which one? Tights?
Sorry, Prince of Thieves.
7.
Oh.
This is where I think you might go down, actually.
Yeah, I would
Soundbite.
I would go down to a 6 on that one.
Okay. That brings down the average to just a 7 because I gave it an 8, and I'm comfortable with the 8. So I really enjoy the movie, but
I'm just a Kevin Costner fan. That's all it is.
Not
That's
really.
the thing, and like we were discussing before, like if you're using the whole rating scale of 0 to 10, 6 is not a piece of garbage.
No, it's
6
not.
is better than like
5.
6. I would say it is better than 5. It's
Math teacher.
there's more good than bad there.
Yeah. Would you play it in the background? Is that a 6? Or is that
I
a 7?
probably would, yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Alan Rickman.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, there's things to like in that movie.
So Steve, have you seen Super Troopers?
Yep.
Yeah. You comfortable? When's the last time you saw it?
It was a long time ago back in Vancouver, and I had to watch it because Ali wanted to do a cosplay of it just for shits and giggles for some reason. I can't remember what it was.
I remember this, Steve.
Yeah.
She dressed up.
She
for
made
the
it out of-
second movie.
The second movie release was coming out and she dressed up for it. Yeah, so she made it.
I thought about you immediately when I suggested it.
Yeah.
Because I remember Ali dressing up for the second movie.
Yes. I remember you were disappointed you weren't on that one. If I recall.
I don't know. To me it was just it was. Would I watch it again? Probably. Like it would probably get a 5 for me.
Do you want should we rate that one? Does it? Yeah.
You don't have to because you probably had someone else on there to rate it anyway, right?
Yeah, Deo and Aaron.
Yeah. So as long as there's we don't need to do that. Yeah.
Did you see Mr. Mom?
No.
No, okay, because that's one movie that you missed out on, but I didn't know if you had a chance to see it or not.
No.
Wayne's World is a 7, Airheads is a 6.1, Beverly Hills Cop. I think the recent ones we're a little more comfortable with.
Yeah.
Any change on
the
Willow?
earlier ones I feel like are probably more worth revisiting.
They Live, we gave it a 7. Galaxy Quest, I talked about. Time Bandits. Jamie, you weren't there for that one.
I
we just talked about that, but I gave it a 9, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. Steve, you gave it an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Andrew was on our show. Actually, I remember Andrew being on that show, and he had a lot of great thoughts about that. He gave it a 9 as well. I really like that movie. Close Encounters then. Any change on that one?
I still love that movie.
Yeah.
What did I rate it?
8.5.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did I
You
give
know
that
what? No, that one should really get a 9
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Jamie, you gave it an 8.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I gave it 7.5, and I'm still comfortable with that. There's nothing that really stands out for. I'm pretty confident with a lot of my choices when it comes to that sort of thing. Oops, sorry, I'm just doing the average now. So
The only other thing
plus
the only other thing we could do is you could send us our score charts, and we could in pencil put what we really feel, and you could adjust it from there. I don't know if anyone's going to want to listen to us do every single movie. and
Okay,
adjust
so why don't we look at movies we've done in the past but haven't rated? I can give you a list of some of this. We've got things from here. Let me run down just a few. Simpsons movie, Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage. I don't even know if I should include those two. We've done The Last Starfighter, The Warriors.
The
Starfarter?
Did I say farter? Sorry about that.
I mean, we've been recording the whole time. We can listen to that back.
The Last Starfighter. Yeah. The Warriors, Running Man, Anchorman, Office Space, Demolition Man, a lot of man, Lost Boys, Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was a fun one with Ali. Dune, Karate Kid, Last Action Hero, Dick Tracy, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, Princess Bride, again with Ali. Idiocracy. I want to revisit that one with Jamie. Strange Brew. I actually wanted to revisit that one with Jamie too. Spaceballs, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Logan's Run, Black Hole, Condor Man. You and me did that, Steve. Cannonball Run, Kindergarten Cop, Die Hard. Oh God, I remember that day. National Lampoon's Christmas. That was with me and my dad and my brother. Ready Player One. That's the newest one I think we've done. Deadpool 2 and The Rocketeer. That's the ones you guys have been on.
Okay. Which ones did you want to revisit, Rob?
I want to we got some more. I want to revisit Idiocracy and Strange Brew because I know, Jamie, you love Idiocracy.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
If you had to rate that one, where's that fall under?
Did we not rate that one?
No, I had to double check on that one.
Oh man.
I'm surprised we didn't rate Spaceballs either, but we weren't really focusing on that sort of thing at the time.
No. Idiocracy? I would give that.
We might have done that with Nate.
I'd give that an 8.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's pretty high up there.
Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I do. I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give it an 8 as well.
Yeah. See, it's funny because I like looking at movies when it's time's gone by because my memory is shot. I have very poor memory at times, which concerns me when I get older. But I remember enjoying the movie, but I have no desire to watch it now.
I think the only reason I wouldn't watch it is because it's way too real. Yeah, it's way too real, and that's the only reason. And it's not that I won't enjoy it, but I'll just sit there hating every human being in the world.
Yeah, I completely agree, Steve. I feel like it's less funny now because
it's so true.
It's too real. It's almost to the point of being depressing.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, but it's really good.
I did feel like, that said, the humor in that movie actually aged really well. Like it wasn't just a bunch of just lowbrow like dick and fart jokes. Like it was actually pretty clever and super biting. Just a crazy, just almost cynical take, but told in a really funny way.
I haven't looked at Crocs the same way ever again. Honestly,
right?
Yeah, it's the fact that you pointed that out as being the shoe of the idiot.
Yeah,
that was their focus, and now people are wearing Crocs, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I own Crocs.
Do you?
Yeah, because so does Deadpool.
Well, yeah, there's big comfy masturbating shoes.
Exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, and that's it's insane how just in how many ways that movie is prophetic.
I think a good way to sum it up though is if you watch Don't Look Up.
I have not.
No.
Okay. So then I shall not bother talking.
I did not watch that movie because I felt like it was going to be too depressing.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same reasons we just talked about, but I prefer Idiocracy over Don't Look Up, although Don't Look Up was, again, clever in the way that it portrayed it. So I think it's worth a watch, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, for the same way, it's like, oh, God, people suck.
So what would I give it 6.5? But I just don't know if I want to watch it again. But so it's 7.5 on average. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Strange Brew because I know you and me joke about that. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I really enjoyed the movie. For me it's a 7.5. But Steve, I remember not understanding a goddamn thing of that movie. Mac loving it, and you were just like, So what do you?
What did we score it? Did we score that movie?
We didn't.
Oh no.
I'm just going based on feeling. So
yeah.
So what would you give it now?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good old Canadian movie. Good Canadian kid.
Oh, that movie.
That face says everything. That face says 3.
Well, I was thinking like a 4.5, honestly.
Okay.
So I think we got to go with that, mostly because like I love Rick Moranis, and I don't have anything against movies or TV shows that are overly Canadian, but I just that movie was such just a mishmash of weirdness for me.
Steve, what about you?
Yeah.
Because I remember you not understanding any of the humor.
It's not. It's just the humor is definitely culturally, focused.
Some would question there wasn't humor at all.
No, I don't know. To me, this is why, you know what, I honestly feel it is in the fours for me, but that also makes me want to give Love Guru a two and a half, because I don't think it deserves one
You
and a
gotta
half.
stand by your guns, sir.
That's what I mean. And if we're readjusting this, I think I need to focus on what deserves what. And honestly, I think I would give. Yeah, I don't want to. I'd like to change my mind, because that gets a 4 in my mind.
Okay.
But the Guru, I think, would have to then, in fact, get a 2.5.
You're making me do more math, sir. Hang
Yeah,
on here.
yeah. Because as much as I really didn't enjoy it,
So you're getting Love Guru. Boy, Love Guru is having a roller coaster ride on this one.
Yeah, because I want to be fair. I mean, I want to just sit there and say 0 because it sucked, but I can't. So I'm going to be fair with it. And I think that's going to set my mind of what, because then, we need to get rid of the question, is it better or worse than Love Guru? Because the numbers are going to dictate that. So yeah.
You just made Love Guru better than Waterworld. God damn it. You just brought it up. It's now 0.16 better than Waterworld. I'm gonna try and convince you to change that again.
Make it 2.
No, I'm joking.
We know.
Okay, I wanted to give you Die Hard. Just the score, not the is it a Christmas movie BS. Die Hard. What would you give Die Hard?
Man,
that's a big one. That's a big movie.
Yeah, Die Hard's in the 8s, I think, because again, Alan Rickman, Bruce Willis, the fact it's such a great Christmas movie, the fact I watch it every year, and I always set my timer to watch it so that he does fall at midnight so I can celebrate Christmas. So yeah, that's gonna be an 8.5 for me.
8.5. All right.
Yeah.
Jamie? Were you there when we watched Die Hard?
Yeah. Sorry, what did God, I'm the idiot now. What did I give Idiocracy? I know
you gave Idiocracy an 8.
Yeah.
I love how we're comparing. This is what we do. We compare it to movies that we've seen before, and it's a hard thing to play.
For me, it helps to compare other movies. I think Die Hard's got to be an 8.5 for me.
Right.
It's one of those things. Like for me, it factors in pretty greatly if I consider it to be a classic, and Die Hard is absolutely an action classic.
Definitely a classic for you.
Yeah.
All right. I gave it a 6. And nothing to do. No. It's not nothing to do with the whole Christmas thing. It's as a movie itself, just as a movie. I think it's a good movie. I just don't find myself thinking about wanting to watch it even during Christmas time. I just in fact I don't even think about it until people bring it up around Christmas time. It's
wow.
It's a great action movie. It really is, but it's nothing that I just go back. There's better action movies out there that I can think of. Almost every single Lethal Weapon I'd rather watch before this one.
Now I have a machine gun.
Yeah. Congratulations. Must be Christmas then. All right. So average 7.67. I'm finding out really quick that you guys and myself have very different tastes.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to ask about Rocketeer.
Oh my.
Okay, so what would you give Rocketeer? I'm going to tell you right now, I give it a nice 8. I wish I could watch it more, but there's times I feel like, no, I don't want to watch this right now. But when I watch it, I really enjoy it. It does move a little slower than I want it to, but I do love the Rocketeer. What about you, Jamie? You're a Rocketeer fanatic.
I am. It feels like, to me, I know it's not, but it feels like a George Lucas or a Steven Spielberg movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not far removed. It's a Joe Johnston movie. Even like the score is almost, I would say, not quite, but almost to the level of a John Williams score.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like there's so much good in that movie. I'd give it a 9.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see. Now, the reason I picked also Rocketeer because this was the first movie that Steven had that we did together with Steven. This is Steve's first movie with us.
Who's
as
Steven?
A podcast. You, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, you keep saying Steven.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's because Waterworld's
Yeah,
at the bottom.
I'm almost using his middle name at this point. But sorry, would you give it a 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve.
Yeah.
This was one of the first movies you did with us. We did a whole bunch of other shows beforehand, but this was the first movie together. And we had a great time. I think it was at your house.
Yeah, it was.
And so we got together, talked about the movie. So what do you think?
Didn't Jamie show us his helmet or something?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I
did.
brought props.
He brought the whole thing, including the Beeman's gum.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Embarrassingly, I don't remember too much about the movie. I
Falls
haven't
under the
watched.
grade, I'd say.
I haven't watched it again since. I do remember it being entertaining and not terrible, but I don't know if I've got enough memory of it to be able to rate it right now.
But doesn't that fall under the rating itself? I mean,
Yeah.
we remember.
So to me, it would have to get like a 6.
And that's why I think it. Yeah, that's the reason I was rating things like Idiocracy. I don't remember much of it. Sometimes that's where, for me, that's where the 4, 5, 6 falls under. It's got to be memorable to get to the 7 and up. So
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you've seen the movie,
yeah,
so yeah, I would say that's
and it wasn't
fair.
that far away either. So that's a 7.67. All right. Now I did want to mention this other one. I know I'm focusing a lot on Jamie here, but we did talk about Ghostbusters. We never rated Ghostbusters, and I think can I assume that if anything's almost going to go over 10, this would be the movie. If you could get 11, this would probably be the movie.
No exaggeration or word of a lie. Ghostbusters 1 is one of, I would say, the 5 movies that I consider to be a perfect movie. So it's, for me, it's the first one is absolutely a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think about movies that tickle the boxes. I own it on DVD. I'll always watch it. If it's on, I'll watch it. And if someone says, do you want to watch Ghostbusters, I'll probably say yes. So I think it does tick all the boxes. I think you're right.
You know what?
I can't think of anything that would put it down.
No.
Like there's nothing about it that would give it a -1 because of something, you know?
Would going by one of your previously mentioned criteria, Steve, would you ever do a Ghostbusters cosplay?
I have been asked to become a Ghostbuster. I love the proton pack. I think I could see myself doing it at some point.
I just want to slap you up in green Jello. Maybe we can be
But I think
Slender.
I wish I'd have done it back in the day when, you know, all this great stuff wasn't available now that costs so much money. Because trying to find anything Ghostbusters now would be so expensive. And again, I would not say no to doing one. I think it's hella fun. I'd love to strap on a proton pack. I think this one has a really good chance of being one of the top movies. I don't think there's anything terrible about Ghostbusters.
So, what's your score?
I think the fact I don't have the cosplay would probably give it a 9.5.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's to me, it's like it's difficult. If I wanted to stick by those rules, it's really difficult. I own nothing Ghostbusters, but I do have a fond memory of owning a 12-inch picture disc which had the picture of the ghost on it and it glowed in the dark. Now, you know, sticking on a bit of the old Ray Parker Jr. with a glow-in-the-dark 12-inch disc is pretty. But I don't own anything Ghostbusters. So yeah, 9.5.
Do you not own anything because of the price?
No, I just don't.
Yeah.
I love the look of the Ecto-1. I love the look of the proton
Sound
packs.
of it.
Yeah, everything about that is amazing. I loved watching Afterlife because it just filled me full of joy, but it linked me back to the nostalgia of number 1, right? And like, it's weird. I'm thinking about it. I don't own anything apart from the movie itself to do with Ghostbusters.
I own a few things, and for the last few months, I would say I've been kind of like teetering on the edge.
You got the Lego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a white whale for me. It
Yeah.
was the Ecto-1 Lego. But a really well-made Ghostbusters 1 costume is a holy grail for me.
Yeah. I would love to own the trap, the goggles. Like I would love to have that.
PKE meter, all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, Jamie, would you cosplay as a particular Ghostbuster or be your own?
I think you have to be your own.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have. I mean, if anybody, I would be Egon in a heartbeat, but I don't think I could pull it off.
That's a cool. Ghostbusters are a cool cosplay because you can be your own character. It's much like a Jedi, I think, in many ways. When people cosplay as a Jedi, they can be their own creation.
And Amando.
And Amando, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it a 10. Yeah, to me, it's like the perfect movie. Fond memories. I think I even told you this. Grade 7, we had a lip syncing contest, and I did Ghostbusters. I got 10 out of 10 on lip syncing. Thank you very much. So came third place in the contest. So, now I want to mention a couple movies here that were on before you guys came onto the show. We didn't do a lot of movies back then. We weren't doing a lot of movie reviews, and it was fun going back and kind of listening and looking at all the old episodes that we used to do. But these are movies that we have done in the past that is open season for a movie night if you want to choose. Okay, just putting this out there. National Lampoon's Vacation. I did that one with my dad and my brother, which was a lot of fun. Big Trouble in Little China, we've done a review on. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I'm actually surprised nobody's mentioned. For some reason, I thought people would talk about that one. Goonies, another one that I'm surprised we haven't talked about. And Back to the Future was the very first movie we've reviewed, not including Star Wars. And that's Terry Chu was on that show, and he actually showed us his hoverboard and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those movies there are ones that we've done in the past. Tron and Tron Legacy, we kind of did a 1-2 punch on, but I'm thinking that should be open season as well because we didn't do a review. We just the love of Tron.
Yeah, agreed.
So any of those movies kind of spark any interest for the future?
I love the Goonies.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of those.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yes, I some of these movies I'd love to review again. Like Big Trouble in Little China, I find myself constantly wanting to go watch that again.
It's a fun movie.
Back to the Future I haven't seen since we did this review, and I don't remember much of it. Yeah.
Back to the Future is all three of them are a yearly watch for me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I think that's about it when it comes to movies we've reviewed in the past. Anything else stand out as a surprise for you, or as movies we haven't even reviewed yet?
I mean, I've still got my list building.
Yeah. Without, I didn't want to give away a list, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know what my next one's going to be because I was so close to picking it on my previous, so I know what the next one's going to be if Jamie doesn't pick it before me. So, but yeah, there's definitely. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to broaden my horizons a little bit rather than just thumbing across my collection and going, oh, I want to watch that again. I think I might just see about movies which I don't have in my collection. I remember being good and remember people talking about it, but it's been that long since I've watched it that I want us to watch it again. Not because I want it to be great. I want to actually see how it lives up to the test of time. Yeah. So I think that's what I'll be doing to my list for sure.
I've got a different, I'm looking at my list. My list is long. It will take us another 3 years probably to get through it, which I'm okay with. But there's some movies here that I've wanted to talk about, but then I think I told you this, Jamie, I pick my movies based on the moment that we're doing things. Like Mr. Mom, I've always had on my list, but there's never a good time. Then when we talk about Batman and we're near Mother's Day, sure, let's do that one. That sounds like a good time. And I kicked out some of the movies I really wanted to talk about. I've got movies on my list I've never seen that I want to talk about. And I think is there a movie you've never seen on your list at all? You guys know, or are they movies that you're more familiar with?
No, they're movies that I've seen.
Okay, cool.
Let's see.
Jamie's going through his rotary right now. He's checking the movies. I won't tell you the movies. I don't feel safe telling you because I want to be. I like the reaction that we have especially when Jamie steals Steve's or vice versa, and sometimes Jamie's stealing mine.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever stolen Steve's.
Rob, you and I went back and forth with Snatch and something else. What was the one too where?
Married an Axe Murderer, I think was up there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shared the snatch, or you went backwards
Yeah.
and forwards on the snatch?
We took turns.
Okay.
And yeah, it was yeah, Sorry Married and Snatch came one after the
Yeah.
other. Then we went to the great outdoors and had a nice relaxing time.
So
And that's
I
when we
don't-
started hitting all the Candy movies, right? Uncle Buck, Great
yeah,
Outdoors.
Uncle Buck was there too.
Yeah.
So I don't have any movies on my list that I have not seen.
Okay, cool. I'm just curious. I'm going to challenge you guys to pick one movie that you want to see and never seen.
I like that
I,
idea.
Maybe
That's
I've,
fun.
we
I've
should
already,
do that.
I've already got one. I've already
Do
got
you?
one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You got one on your list already?
I've got one that I want to watch. I'm just gonna make sure I can remember the name of it. Hang on a second. Because this, honestly, guys, I saw it one day with my searching for something to watch, and it showed up on YouTube for some reason. I'm like, is it a movie? What the? And I looked. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I have to watch this.
Is it a new movie?
No, it's a night.
Is it an old
It's an old one. It's like a 70s
Okay.
movie. And let me. Yeah, it's not my turn, but I'm gonna look at it. I know
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of, and that's a movie I haven't watched all the way through. I've only seen it, and it looked freaking ridiculous. And I'm gonna make us watch it, whether it be painful, whether it scores less than Love Guru.
I like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's how Rob picks some of his movies.
It's painful.
Well,
The movies I
you
picked
pick
are-
them because, or despite the fact that they might be painful sometimes.
The only problem is if it's on YouTube here, it may not be on YouTube with you guys, but I don't know how we would find it if it's an old 70s movie. But yeah,
We'll figure it out.
I've just looked it up right now, and it's definitely on YouTube, and it's free. I'm not surprised.
Oh,
Free
free!
movie on YouTube?
That's how good it is.
Holy
Yeah.
crap, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
The movie people are like, just take it, just watch
Yeah.
it. Somebody
I've-
watch this thing.
I've seen a list of movies that are free on YouTube, and they are
Good?
God, there's no.
Hey, look, Waterworld's free on YouTube. That's okay. Maybe we should after. Do I dare say after my pick? You want to take the challenge on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve.
Yeah, you want me to pick after yours?
After my pick, because
Yeah.
I do want to do my pick. Although I'm still on the fence about it, but after my pick, I think
Maybe you'll pick this movie, Rob.
I don't think so. I don't see
Okay.
a 70s movie on my list that you would want to see. So, but yeah, so let's do that. I'm looking forward to this.
I'll put an asterisk by it.
Jamie, when you and me were out for pub night, just before we end this up, we were sitting around with a bunch of our friends, and they were firing movies at us left, right,
Yeah.
and center. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Like Airwolf.
Or have you talked about this?
Have we talked about this?
Yeah.
And two things that came out of this: one, we got some great ideas for movies, and two, our friends don't listen to our podcast. But Posty, I know you're out there.
Yeah, if they listen, then Jamie would have to watch Love Guru. Let's do this,
exactly.
people.
Yeah.
Hit the like button.
Hit the
Subscribe.
subscribe button.
Yeah, like
Smash
and
that like
subscribe.
button. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I enjoyed this conversation. It does allow me to understand your guys' choices a little bit better, and or your choice for rating. And I'll be very curious to see when Anil comes back, because he has given me confirmation that he wants to come back for Bill and Ted. And he's extremely busy. I know it's hard for him to come out, but when Bill and Ted is mentioned, I know that his ears are ringing. So it'll be curious to see what he says about ratings and also about Jamie and his desire to see the Love Guru.
I'm expecting a text in a few weeks.
Didn't he say we were
after this airs? I can imagine a text coming through, maybe even a phone call. It's going to generate so much.
He's more of a
anger
phone
in
call
him.
guy.
Yeah, probably a phone call with the anger of reducing the score. But remember, Anil, I did bump it up one because I felt that was fair.
After you bumped it down 3, 4, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little conversation about. I'm just looking at the camera. My eye is this green. when
They
my
are
green
red.
screen-
They're red.
One
No,
of
but
them
it's
is red
because of the
because
green
the
screen in the
background.
back, and it's just
Yeah.
I
I
tilt.
guess
Oh my
so,
God,
yeah.
I never noticed that. Thanks for watching. If you like this and you want to listen to some of our movie reviews on what we've done in the past for the last 380 episodes, check out the
Years.
Generation. Yeah, years seems like. check out the Generation X-Wing podcast audio version and download tons of movies. Like I said, there's close to 70 movies that we've reviewed, and it's been a lot of fun. We're almost close to
send in your movie ideas. We can put them in a pot, and then we can always draw one out.
But we should do a listener's choice one day.
Yeah.
They tell us what movie to watch. Will you guys be willing to do that? I'd be totally willing to do that.
Yeah.
So Jamie's already look on Jamie's face. He's totally into that.
No, he's wishing that his eyes were like yours.
Waterworld 2, folks, coming up. But if there's a movie you guys would like us to review, comment below. Contact us on our wherever you contact us. I really would like a comment below on the YouTube channel. I mean,
they have likes in YouTube comments, right? So like, maybe the movie idea with the most likes, and it has to be more than like 2.
Yeah, but I would say if you're going to put a movie down there, you have to say what the movie is. You also have to say why you want to watch it and what your score would be.
Yeah. I love it.
Watch this movie. It's a pile of shit. Like, give us something give us something that we should be entertained by.
Yeah, it's got to be entertaining. It's not like we're going to watch,
or at least entertaining of how bad it is.
Like
that.
Yeah. We don't want anything movies. We have to keep it somewhat entertaining. Around the 80s and 90s or so, we touch into the 70s a bit. That's where we're all from, Generation X, right? So let us know down below, and we'd love to take a look at it. Other than that, Steve, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Instagrams, and I will be posting some stuff.
You've got some great posts up there lately of your activities.
I'm just trying to catch up, man. I've squeezed in so many things, but I've not been posting, obviously, because I'm just enjoying them, and I'm not one of those people who takes pictures of their dinner before they eat it. I'll eat the thing. And then say, shit, sorry, I forgot to take a picture of it. And I'm doing that a lot lately with bumping into people and meeting people. I'm going out there and I'm enjoying their company, and I forgot to stop and take a picture with them. So yeah,
look at that. That's a great picture of you and Krill. You as Krill with Darth Vader.
And that's Chris. Awesome. That's Chris as Darth Vader there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's an iconic scene from the comic book.
Vance.
Yeah. There's been a lot of good fun to be had, and there's a lot more coming up. Summer's starting, cons are starting, Monster Palooza's next weekend, so maybe we'll get some horror fun on.
Yeah. Jamie, when Anil is here, where do we find him?
When he is here?
Yeah. I was trying to sound smart and funny, but it obviously, as I said, it made no sense. So just tell us where we can find Neil, please. Ignore what I was hoping you just kind of
should we just make a t-shirt that has Space Hindu 73 on it and just see if we can sell those?
Yeah, Space Hindu 73, Google it.
Yeah. Oh, it's on the back. Google it's on the back.
Yeah.
I think we just put Google it and that's it.
Yeah.
That's sell.
Yeah.
We have t-shirts, by the way. The one t-shirt that really sells is our Fennec Shand shirt. It actually helps pay for our website, so thank you for that.
I don't know what I've done with my signed t-shirt. I don't know where it is.
Oh, yours is signed by Ming Na Wen.
Yeah, Ming Na Wen, yeah. So I had it signed and I don't know what I've done with it, and I just suddenly had a flashback panic, like where the hell is that and what have I done with it?
Oh, don't lose that bad boy. As for me, you can find the Outer Rim Rookie Show on our YouTube channel if you're watching it right now. Like and subscribe. Help us get to 500 so we can watch Love Guru. Check out the shorts we have every Tuesday. It's Trivia Tuesday. Shorts. Every Thursday is Throwback Thursday. Every Friday is Top 5 Friday. And then we got a lot of trooping fun out there as well on Saturdays and Sundays. So maybe, rumor has it, Jamie's going to have some pictures of bunnies. That's going to be kind of cool. But nerdy bunnies. They're nerdy.
It sounds kind of creepy though, man.
They're nerdy bunnies.
Want to see my cute bunnies?
Yes. Yeah. Well, if it gets some likes, we'll do.
Do you have sweeties as well, Jamie, or ice creams?
Yeah. No. For context, these are my bunnies.
Yes.
These are the bunnies that Christine and I have rescued.
Yes.
Videos of those.
What were their names again?
Sirius and Bellatrix.
Yeah. Great nerdy bunnies. They're awesome. So check us out there, and Outer Rim Rookie on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, as well. So if you like cosplaying and people trooping and building costumes as well, working on my reuse costume. Got Scout Trooper and Neon Nun as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Assume. And we'll talk to you guys later. Next week. What are we talking, Jamie?
Oh, we're talking Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
And the rumor has it Neil's going to be back, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you next week. Bye.